Southern plantations were a means for some to gain wealth from the work of enslaved African Americans and tenant farmers. The owners of plantations and their families enjoyed the profits, but these folks made up a small portion of the Southern population. For a long time, the plantations of the South represented a definite inequality. The working class were provided the bare minimum to survive, while plantation owners got the chance to build a well-established financial status and had opportunities to strongly support their economic interests for generations to come. With an extreme increase in the growth of cotton, tobacco, indigo, and rice, the Southern economy was supported by the need for a reliable, consistent labor system. Lacking the access to useful machinery, humans were used instead to cultivate, plant, and harvest crops. On stately plantations, owners would often have hundreds of enslaved people, or men, women, and children who were owned as property. An overseer, plantation manager, would be the one in charge, enforcing strict rules and severe punishments if rules were broken. The enslaved were often treated cruelly by their masters, who used inhumane practices to control behavior. Sadly, this was a regular standard of consequences for all workers of this back-breaking labor system. All enslaved people were forced to work on a daily basis to accomplish the same goal, to supply labor needed to build mass fortunes. However, some landowners did not enjoy a high degree of wealth. Their land, unsuited for large plantations, was simply maintained by tenant farmers, people who paid rent with crops or cash to work the land of another individual. Tenant farmers were the rural poor, living in simple cabins and struggling to take care of their own needs, in a society where wealthy plantation owners had the most financial control. Tenant farmers did not have enslaved people. They were forced to live on land that was undesirable and would move frequently looking for better opportunities or to avoid personal debts. Tenant farmers found themselves in debt if the land they worked on deteriorated or suffered damage from a natural cause, like droughts or floods. However, tenant farmers were in demand once Black Americans were freed and plantation owners no longer had the free labor they were used to. In addition, a loss of enslaved labor resulted in the loss of money needed to pay for hired workers. The cruel and unjust treatment of the enslaved motivated some to resist slavery. Resistance was carried out in different ways. Passive acts were often carried out in the workplace, where, on a daily basis, enslaved people were known to demonstrate their resistance by stealing, pretending to be sick, destroying tools, or causing a deliberate slowdown in crop production. Of course, these methods were used in situations where masters and overseers were absent, outnumbered, or property owners were in financial distress. Active resistances were more damaging. For example, destroying plantations, causing arson, suicide, poisonings, and enslaved people running away. Runaways demonstrated their resistance by escaping from their bondage to a location where slavery was not practiced. The Underground Railroad was a series of safe houses used to assist the enslaved in permanently leaving their oppression and moving to a free state.
Been in a lot of wars, but the brave always die first.